All right, it's been about 96 hours since Dave Heeke was let go as Arizona athletic director, and I think we know some things at this point. And again, we don't know everything, but Jason, this definitely feels something like he was kind of the fall guy for some bigger issues in play. If you watch the ABOR meeting, nobody is happy at all with Bobby Robbins. You look at what's going on with the governor of the state, who looked like she was essentially saying, "Yeah, we don't trust you to move forward." This feels like something that Dave was essentially the scapegoat for mistakes from people far above Dave's pay grade.
Yeah, I mean, this is something where, after it happened, I said that Robbins is going to do whatever he can to save his job. And I didn't think Heeke would be the first, and he's not going to be the last. There will be multiple people that lose their jobs, and Robbins is going to do what he needs to do in order to save his job. And a lot of CEOs or whatever similar would do the same. But this was a situation where it's very difficult to fire someone for cause,
Right.
but with the wording that they gave, like McMurphy after it would have been pretty easy if that stuff was true, the financial malfeasance and all that, but it wasn't true.
Well, right. And that's the other thing, too. The financial malfeasance part continues to crack me up, because if that was true and he screwed up the Jedd Fisch contract as well, that to me is all nonsense at this point. You mean to tell me that somebody like Bobby Robbins, who is as big and as involved as there is in sports, had no clue what was going on with the contract, had no clue what was going on in the athletic department whatsoever? This is just some weak stuff.
Yeah, but it's not surprising, right? Like, and I don't, again, like, I don't think Dave's the last in the AD. I mean, there's going to be other people, whether it's a bigger role or a smaller role that some have never heard of, that are going to have the consequences as well. And, the good thing is for Dave, at least, that he's going to get all his money in his full contract, but like, you're not saving money in that regard either. Like, you still have to pay. Now you're paying 2 athletic directors. So everything that Arizona does, the decisions that Robbins makes, seems to lead to more financial issues. And I don't know. I'm still not convinced it's going to impact basketball or football. I think it is going to impact the smaller sports. But eventually, I mean, there's got to be a price to pay for all of this.
Yeah, and Arizona's athletic department's running a $30 million deficit, but I'll say this. Everybody always says, well, we want good sports, do whatever it takes. Well, guess what? You got a top 15 basketball team, you got a top 15 football team, and football especially is headed in the right trajectory. And on top of that too, when Dave, his last move, he was given the move to be able to make the next choice, and he moved really quickly to get Brent Brennan in here, and lo and behold, you're keeping 85% of the roster as well. That, and the fact that I don't believe for a second that Bobby Robbins had no clue what was being spent in the athletic department, just really makes me unhappy, to put it mildly.
Yeah, and like, I don't want to get I don't like getting political, but when the governor, when Katie Hobbs says that basically she doesn't believe any of the numbers being presented by anyone.
Right.
And that's something where it's like, is it 30 million? Is it more? Is it 140 million or 240 million for the school? So there's going to be an external audit. And that is something that is going to tell us a lot, and is probably going to decide a few jobs here.
All right. Now, going forward, then, one thing that I did find funny about this is Arizona runs a $30 million deficit in athletic department spending. ASU runs a $22 million. How does ASU, at least Arizona has good sports, ASU runs a $22 million deficit, and they suck at football and basketball? What is going on there?
By the way, 30 and 22 really isn't that bad. Like, if those numbers are true, like, there are schools, Cal and UCLA are at significantly higher deficits. There are plenty of schools in the Big 12 that'll be at higher. It's always funny. You wonder where this money's going. I remember, like, we looked at the list and Kansas State made a ton of money, but then you look at Kansas State, it's like, how are they making so much money? Like, it's very interesting to see where this money goes. But yeah, like, if you're going to be at a deficit, you want to at least be above average in a major sport.
Dave Heeke, a casualty of war, unfortunately. And again, Bobby Robbins is probably going to try to get rid of anybody and everybody to keep his job. We will keep you up to date on that.